We'll go ahead and get started. Do we have any questions? Adam Spollen.
Hey, Stephen. I guess what's just the level of pride watching your team compete the way that they did for 48 minutes?
Oh, I mean, as high as it could possibly be. That's what I told the guys after the game, how proud I am of them for the effort that they gave, for the way that they played. I mean, for us to have 36 assists as a team with the group that we had out there, that shows a bunch of things. It shows the character of the guys that we had out there. That shows a group who wanted to just play the right way, and also shows that we made shots, which is a good thing. But so we were spaced well, and we knew we were going to get some shots. And I was happy with the group because they took the shots. They didn't hesitate on the shots. And at times this season, we've hesitated when it comes to a shot created. And for us, a shot created must be taken. So, yeah, I was super, super proud of the group. And, I mean, for House to play some point guard tonight, play 16 minutes, banged up, and have 7 assists shows a lot. And for DJ Augustine to come off injury and play almost 30 minutes and play the way that he did, I mean, all the way down the line, as far as the group, I couldn't be more proud, even though we lost the game, which is disappointing.
Jonathan Fagan.
What are the sort of things that the young guys, Martin and maybe Kyrie Thomas, some of the real young guys can build on in terms of developmentally, not so much to the next game, but just in their future?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they have to feel somewhat confident coming out of this stretch, especially KJ. And, you know, Kyrie came in tonight and wasn't afraid and took the shots that he had and moved it when he didn't have it. But, yeah, that's going to be a summer of development. And we're going to continue to work on the three-point shooting because that opens up so much. It draws defenders out for other guys to roll or drive. It causes teams to close out on a guy like KJ, who had some opportunities against closeouts, and he drove the ball and got to the rim, and you know, he made some dunks and missed a couple, but the progression and the I guess his improvement is tangible. And it's really, really good to see. And it's a credit to John Lucas and the work that he does with the guys, as well as our other assistant coaches, and KJ and Armoni and all those guys who work hard and do all the extra stuff when nobody's watching.
You know, you mentioned the assists, and he had, in addition to his career high scoring, career high assists, but lots of times young guys in a matchup like this and so shorthanded try to do too much to try to use each other. Does that surprise you that they did that to this degree, given how young those guys were? And what does that tell you about what they might have going for them?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm surprised just because I do feel like I have a good pulse on the group, and I do think that we have high character, and it showed tonight. They played the right way, and Armoni, as far as the assists, he has improved. When he first got here, he wasn't going to make all of the plays that he made tonight, and he made them, and he's improving and getting better. So what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Just if it reveals anything about what they can do when they match up a little better than against the Bucks with 8 guys.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. I mean, we came into this game knowing that we were underhanded and we're down bodies and everything. And this was part of your question, is for these guys to come in with the attitude that they weren't just going to try to do it on their own and do it with each other and for each other, shows a lot about who they are. And it's something that we're going to need as a group going forward is the togetherness and playing the right way and spacing and moving the ball, and games like 36 assists. We're going to need those moving forward. So this is definitely something that we can look back on and hopefully build from.
Thank you.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, how hard is it to prepare the game plan for when you don't know who's going to be there, when you have new guys in the system? How hard is that to prepare, especially for a team like the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but we have to do it, right? A team like the Milwaukee Bucks is going to be hard to prepare for if you have your full complement of guys. So when we didn't, we actually just simplified things a little bit because, you know, we had what we had, and we had to throw some zone out there, a bunch of zone out there, and it wasn't great, but it did buy us some time, and they missed a few shots. And I was conscious of, like I think I said early before the game, how I didn't want our guys to wear down and wear out, especially because we have a back-to-back and we have limited guys. So throwing the zone out there was a curveball just so we could kind of stay in the same spot for a little while. But yeah, as far as game planning, they're hard to game plan for if you have your full group. So yeah, it was tough because we only had 8 guys, but it's always tough.
And that has to be a compliment to your coaching staff as well, correct?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I have a great staff. I mean, I talk about those guys all the time, but Jeff Hornacek, it was his game plan tonight, and he did a good job. But all my guys, the Will Weaver, Sagana Job, Rick Higgins, those guys all do a fantastic job on the fly because, you know, we got to the meeting this morning and we didn't know really who we were going to have. And we showed film this morning and we were talking about the starting lineups and we weren't really sure. We didn't know if JT was going to be able to play, and we're just kind of like coming up with the concepts and doing it as sensical as it could possibly be. And yeah, that's definitely a credit to the coaching staff.
Adam Spalding.
We've talked a lot about the chemistry between Christian and Kelly since you've been here. But what about are you surprised at the chemistry between KJ and Kelly and just how seamless that seems to be, especially in those pick and rolls?
Yeah, you don't see it very often when your 5-man is handling in a pick and roll and throwing lobs to your 4-man as he rolls to the rim. But they do have that little connection. And Kelly has shown, I mean, he's been knocking on the door of a triple-double for a few games now. And he did it in 30 minutes tonight, almost had it. But he's a basketball player, and he makes the right play. And he is smart and cerebral, and but he also has skill to where he can attack defenses with his shooting or his ball handling and the passing that you're talking about and reading. But that's also part of KJ's improvement, because we've talked a lot about his screening angles and not allowing defenders to go under his screens. So they run into the screens and he's rolling hard to the rim and finishing. So yeah, it's good to have chemistry. We want all our guys to have chemistry, and times like this definitely does a good job to build the chemistry.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.